Hello everyone, is this another slapdown Meghan dear? Very straightforward, and I love it. Harry and Meghan admit they only signed the contract because they needed the money. What a despicable Sussex couple, and the karma is clearly coming. Now everyone who watches my videos, do you believe me? I said they would get their karma soon, and it is coming. I am so excited. You're familiar with the proverb, aren't you? It never rains but it pours. I'm sure you're aware that we've all experienced it, aren't we? It's not mince words. At some point, you begin something, and it appears like something is going to go wrong. If you can almost certainly think that if you had signed Meghan and Harry up a few years ago, you would have anticipated that they would do something quite remarkable. You know, if you recall, Netflix couldn't wait to wave the banner, and then, of course, Harry proceeded to put the car wash on it while he was being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. Basically, I'm arguing that the only reason I joined up was because we were in need of the money. Although you are being paid millions of dollars, this is not exactly a ringing recommendation to get things off to a fantastic start. It is, of course, Harry who is doing that. In no way the brightest bulb in the world. There are other individuals who could go a step further and suggest that you should be simply thick because you have a responsibility to be kind to the people who are paying you a significant amount of money. The show business operates in this manner. Nevertheless, you should realize that Harry is accustomed to getting his own way, and it is evident that he believes he could easily get away with it. On the other hand, you should realize that in the world of show business, calmness is a peculiar phenomenon, since it almost always appears to arrive very soon. At the beginning of this year, there was a lot of hype surrounding the notion that Meghan Markle had finally put the finishing touches on her cookery program that she was hosting on Netflix, the one in which she has to get together with some of her friends and engage in activities such as gardening, cooking, and chatting. What I hear sounds like the kind of daytime television programming that we used to watch while we were, if we may use that phrase, sort of avoiding school. I know what I mean, but don't look at me. You understand what I'm saying? It was something that we all did, and there were more interesting things on Yorkshire TV in my region. How many of you remember Dorothy Slayholm's appearances on Farmhouse Kitchen? Unbelievable. Meghan, she has the potential to teach you a few things for sure. However, what is intriguing is that, according to a source that is extremely highly situated, and is ever apparently, bottom line is that Netflix has now watched this gigantic production from Archwell Productions, and they are utterly unimpressed with it. To tell you the truth, I have no idea what they were anticipating, since I don't know what you can do. It is suitable for daytime television. In all seriousness, it consists of little more than cooking and speaking about her favorite dishes, which she has most likely been inspired by reading a couple of the magazines. I agree with you, and you should simply leave that one there. It should come as no surprise that she does not enjoy looking at other things that are all unique concepts. Do you have the audacity to claim that Meghan may have been influenced by some of the greatest artists in the world, such as Delia, Mary Berry, and other such artists? However, going ahead, this is obviously the issue that has arisen, because Netflix has made the decision that this specific epic production might not even be released to the public until the year 2025. The reason for this, as far as we can tell, is that the Archwell Corporation is effectively fabricating this idea that, of course, the podcast will also be available in the year 2025. Oh, and here's another explanation. Therefore, all of this will occur concurrently, and it will have a twofold impact on the brand that Harry and Meghan have created. It is not an encouraging sign. Do you agree with me that these projects should be removed and should not be broadcast? If yes, please comment on number 1. Otherwise, if you don't think so, please comment on number 2. As I mentioned earlier, I have connections at Netflix, and they assured me that everything is fine. The thing that you need to keep in mind is that it is a subscription service, which means that you cannot demand that people watch it. It is not like commercial television, where you may watch it for free. And there is a possibility that you will fall asleep while watching someone mix something in a bowl Or, for example, munch on a slice of pizza. In the event that you are required to pay for it, you will not make an investment in something that does not necessarily suit your preferences. Furthermore, Netflix is aware of this fact and has come to the conclusion that they have not yet discovered the appropriate time slot. It would appear that Meghan and Harry are trying to prepare something, but it does not appear to be going very well at the moment. Anyways, Meghan has made a great contribution. The real royal jam sales in the UK have greatly increased since Old M tried to go into the jam business. Big wave, I'm waiting for my second order from Highgrove as we speak. The strawberry jam was spectacular. The biscuits, tea, and soaps were just delightful. Except none of them are her ideas, let alone good ones. Copycats everything in the worst possible fashion. Oh boy, they really have absolutely no talent. I thought Corey would have taught Meghan how to cook. Didn't she take his recipe and claim it as her own? You could almost feel sorry for her. Nah, just kidding. No one can teach Meghan. I'm just sick and tired of Harry and his wife. I won't watch any program they're in or produce. I'll definitely not be buying any of her products. I think Netflix will hold it over to 2025 when their contract expires and decide that Meghan's production and content just doesn't inspire and dazzle the audience enough to make it worthwhile. Goodbye. I find the whole thing over her cookery show, come official launch of ARO, more and more surreal. It now looks like the cookery show is scheduled for streaming in May 2025 because, apparently, it needs further work on it. That's 8 months after the completion of shooting. On top of it, Netflix is taking over the running of ARO. They will deal with the suppliers, retail channels, marketing and sales, even recruiting the hard-to-find CEO. And there was the wife turning up at the Hamptons Summit, trying to convince everyone that she is a savvy businesswoman. What a con she is. Everything about her is fake. If they persist in their involvement with Meghan and Harry, I have no sympathy for Netflix. They jumped on the Sussex bandwagon with absolutely no indication that the pair had anything to offer, other than salacious gossip. Since then, there have been more red flags than you'd seen in Red Square. And still, they didn't cut that pair loose. What's making them keep those two on? Stubborn pride, unwillingness to admit they were wrong? Either way, Netflix's reputation is forever scarred by this association. And with all the other streaming services out there now, they can't afford to stay with a sinking ship. So I think they are hoping to recoup some of the lost millions. Serves them right, greedy bums. Meghan and Harry overpromised and underdelivered, which seems to be their mission statement, with all their branding, doing a lifestyle blog tig, writing a foreword for a cookbook together. Our community cookbook, and dating a chef. Corey does not make one a domestic. Every time I see a mattress tied to the roof of a car now, I think to myself, Meghan must be trying to sell her jam door to door. You know how pathetic they are right now. Harry and Meghan have had a string of failures in their projects. The show Pearl was cancelled, the Spotify deal flopped, and their speaking engagements have not delivered the expected results. Their audio and television efforts have all failed, with their Netflix project becoming a laughing stock. Their partnership with Lemonade was postponed, and their ARO project has also failed to launch on time. Their tours have been unsuccessful so far, and while they have bought a few awards, those awards have been a laughing stock. The only thing they seem to do best is leak information to the press, a talent that is not to be proud of. Another Meghan's project was pushed to the back of the file, never to see the light of day. Exactly what we expected. Like I've said before, I think she is getting an education on karma. In Meghan's case, she needs to get a ton of negativity coming her way. After all of her vicious attacks on Prince William's children and wife, maybe Meghan is beginning to realize that titles really do mean nothing. Well, certainly not her anyway. Meghan just has not been able to figure it out. There is no overnight success. Oh, granted, she went from a nobody to a duchess overnight, but that does not entitle one to become a huge financial mogul in the same time frame. Martha Stewart took years and years to become a household name. Same goes for Ree Drummond, the pioneer woman. Unfortunately, Meghan wants success without laying all the groundwork and without doing any work. Even Mary Berry, who is truly an icon, first learned to bake with her mother, then culinary school at 17. It took almost 15 years and become an editor of a women's magazine, and then another 5 to have a cookbook published. It is all constant and hard work, something which Meghan doesn't seem to understand. What a complete mess. But with everything going on right now in the news, Meghan couldn't possibly compete. She isn't that talented or even interesting. Such a bland character, apart from being mean, etc. There are obviously other things going on or efforts to make it more appealing, though there is a risk of losing many of the remaining audience that might be interested. It seems that this venture is never going to work, but then it is due to the person behind it. You need an engaging personality to draw in viewers. Meghan doesn't have that. It will just be all about her and made-up stories. No thanks. Food Network in America has a lot of great cooking shows with incredible hosts. So sad for Meghan. Please share with me your thoughts on the topic I just shared today. What do you think? How do you see it? I am ready to listen to everything. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to support me by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye, and see you again.